Welcome to Very Unlikely. So this is the last video that I'll be doing before the launch of SundaeSwap. We've obviously been waiting for this time to come, and several people have asked for my strategy, and my strategy has changed. That's because SundaeSwap has changed throughout the course of things over the past couple of months. They've made different changes as they've went, so obviously my strategy has done the same thing. So today I'm going to give you that. And we're gonna start off with the Yoroi wallet, something I wanna point out. If you look right here, you can see this dApp connection tab. So that is something I previously haven't seen. Now maybe you have, maybe I just wasn't paying attention to it, but I did notice that. Also, as you can see, you can't do anything with it because of the fact it says there's no websites to connect to. Now my last video did explain that you're not gonna be able to use your Yoroi wallet to swap with at the initial launch, so make sure that you are aware of that. But it at least shows that there is progress to the wallet, so at some point in time we will be able to swap, so I'm happy to see that. Something else I want to address, and this is not FUD, I just find it somewhat odd. The number one most asked question right now is, what time does the DEX launch? Now, we all know what day it launches, but when it comes to the time, the team did not state one. And the reason why I'm prefacing this for you and saying that it's not FUD is because I actually believe that's by design. Now, the only reason I believe that is SundaeSwap has been very thorough throughout this whole thing to provide us updates and let us know what's going on. So to reach a point where one of the most critical details aren't there doesn't make sense. And like I said, I have no factual details on this. My thought is, perhaps they're thinking if we just launch it at some point in time, people will somewhat gradually come onto the DEX. Now, it'll still be very busy, but maybe that would keep it from crashing initially. If they just put a time out there, it's obviously going to flood with people wanting to use it. So that could obviously cause a crash, I would think. But I have nothing to back that up. I just find it odd that we haven't been provided a time, and that's at the time of this recording. So I do want to state they could literally have put a timeout in the past few minutes, but also they could put one out anytime before it launches. So that's not FUD, that's just my thoughts, my opinion, and I want to make sure on that because I just couldn't figure that out. Now, when it comes to my strategy, first of all, let's talk about the ISO. I've talked about it in previous videos about the ISO and how I think it is going to be oversaturated. Now, oversaturation, what does that mean? If it's oversaturated and tons of people decide to participate, it means that the rewards per ADA that you put in are going to be less. Now, there's nothing wrong with that because the thing to remember is there's still free rewards, right? So there's nothing wrong with that. I myself am not going to participate in the ISO. And the reason why is I actually decided to participate in the ISO for another project. So it's just as simple as that. I just thought that the rewards would be better. So it was just simply my personal choice. I'm not telling you not to participate in the ISO. I think you do your research. You also figure that, hey, at the end of the day, is it any more risky or is there anything that could happen outside of staking in any other stake pool? I don't believe there is. So certainly should be no problem with participating in the ISO because you need to remember, just like any other stake pool, you're still going to get your ADA rewards. It's just if you choose these 30 stake pools that were voted upon, then you're gonna also get Sunday rewards for 5 epochs. Now, if you're going to participate in the ISO, I don't see any reason why you would wait. I would go ahead and delegate my ADA to one of those 30 staking pools ASAP. There's just basically no reason why you would wait. Something else about that is, from the information I got, you can participate in the ISO from the Yoroi wallet, but of course you can't swap from the Yoroi wallet initially. Let me know if you're seeing anything different than that, but that is the information that I got. When it comes to swapping, I'm going to use the Nami wallet. Now that's not a promo for Nami, it's just, that's the one I've seen with all the integration throughout this whole time that we've been waiting for the SundaeSwap DEX to launch. So that's what I'm going to use. So I'm already in the process of getting prepared. I've already set up the Nami wallet, and I plan to send over the amount of ADA that I want to participate with to the Nami. Now that won't be all of my ADA, but whatever I want to do as far as when it comes to swapping for SundaeSwap and for the platform, I'll go ahead and send that amount over. I would suggest if you are going to use the Nami wallet, you go ahead, get a feel for it, trying to get some understanding of the basics. It's not really that difficult to use, but you do need to be prepared. So just keep that in mind. Now, as far as the exact strategy, this is my plan. Everyone's going to have a different way that they want to do it, but this is just what I have in mind right now. So just to keep it simple, I'm going to use 1,000 ADA, we'll say, right? Just for an example. Let's say I have 1,000 ADA in my wallet. At the initial launch, I plan to take half of those, 500 ADA, and try to swap for Sunday tokens. I will look and see what the price does, because I do expect it to take off pretty quickly, but I also expect a crash at some point. When it crashes, my plan is to take the other 50%, the other 500 ADA, and then purchase more Sunday tokens. If it takes off and just goes nuts, I can live with the fact I only got 500 ADA worth of Sunday tokens. That is the way I'm looking at it. Now, at some point, I think it'll crash either way. It's just how these things work. So I still have a long-term strategy, if you will. But no, I'm not just going to throw it in there once I think it's really went to a high level, throw that extra 50% in there. I'm not going to do that. I don't think that is a good method to use. You have to have a plan and stick to it. So that is my thought right there. Also, by the way, I do plan to actually go in and purchase some ADA Finance tokens. So because of that, I will have those ADA in my wallet also. And I make that point to say any other type of tokens you want to purchase on the DEX, well, you want to make sure you have that amount of ADA set aside for that as well. So when I say 50%, only do 50% of the allocated amount. And that's for me. For you, the percentage may be different, but make sure that you have that worked out. So let's simplify that one more time, kind of without the numbers. The DEX launches, half of the ADA for SundaeSwap. I go ahead and try to get into it at launch with that. I wait and watch the price action. If it crashes back down, I take the rest of it and buy in more SundaeSwap tokens. If it's off to the races, then I will consider taking some profits. Now, if you want to hold forever, be my guest. But if it really does well, I'm going to take some profits. But on the other side of that, at some point, I do expect a correction. And with that, I will have the plan to get tokens for the long-term hold. And by long-term, I just mean longer. It could be several months. It could be 6 months, because I want to be able to decide, am I going to provide liquidity and am I going to yield farm? They did mention that you'll be able to yield farm for the following 6 months after the DEX is open. So that is something I'm considering. In terms of providing liquidity and yield farming, after the DEX is launched and a little bit of time has gone by and you've had a chance to fool around with the DEX, get an understanding of it, if you'd like me to drop a video showing those extra features and things like that, all you have to do is let me know, and I certainly will do it. The main thing for me is just trying to provide you the information that you're looking for. ADA is not the price of $1. So in terms of trying to see how much a certain token is in terms of a dollar, it's not always that easy. So when you get on the DEX, you're going to have to do some calculations, but there is a way to at least tell if it's moving up or down. When you go to the screen to swap, you're going to see where in the top part you can put, okay, I'm swapping ADA, and in the bottom part, I'm receiving this, and we'll say Sunday tokens. What you can do is, in that top part, when it asks how much ADA you're swapping, just put one ADA in there. And then when you put Sunday in the bottom part, it's going to tell you how many Sunday you're going to get for that one ADA. Now, if you repeatedly do that, you're going to be able to see, is the number of SundaeSwap tokens that I'm getting per 1 ADA increasing or decreasing, and how fast is it doing that? That is how you can tell which direction the price is going. And now if there's a stable coin on there, like for example, if the DJED stable coin is already on SundaeSwap and functioning, well, it's even easier because now we actually have a stable coin that represents $1 that we can put in that top portion where I said to put the ADA, and then you could put Sunday, and you're gonna know exactly how many Sunday tokens at any given time you get for $1 prior to swapping. So that's just a way. You can just look at it. You don't have to make the swap. It's just like you're going to swap, and that's how you can tell. If that's confusing at all, please let me know in the comments. I'll try to do a better job describing it, but I just wanted to at least throw that out there as a little tool. And that's something I do on other dexes, and I'm sure a lot of other people do as well. Remember that if it's already listed on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, it's not that big of a deal. You can just be looking at that and you'll be able to know what it is. But if it's not showing, that is the way that you can do it. So I wanted to make sure to add that as well, and maybe that'll help some people. That's my strategy, basically. It's not anything crazy. It's very simple. Some people may like it, some people may not. Do what's best for you. But if you have any questions about it, certainly let me know. And the one thing that no one's strategy can take into account is, will you actually be able to swap? Will it crash? Will it be so bogged down that it's hard to get transactions to go through? This is something we're all gonna have to learn. So I can't anticipate that. But in a perfect world, that's the strategy I would use. Now, if I thought I was just getting some crazy price and I got in, right when it launched, would I consider just going all in? Something to consider, but let me tell you why I wouldn't. Because 50-50 is my strategy. And once I set a strategy, I'm not gonna move off of it until I absolutely know I need to. So the reason I do that is you don't wanna start trading or doing things like that off of emotion, because you're gonna end up on the bottom side of that equation if you do that. So that's just something for me to point out. Thank you for all of those of you that have interacted with me, watched my SundaeSwap videos. By the way, if you hit the link up above, you can go back and review any of the SundaeSwap videos that I've done. And I just really appreciate it. Let me know other projects that you want to see. Consider subscribing. If you're not subscribed, just think about it. Hit the like button. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. Hit the bell for notification to make sure that you stay up to date on the latest content that I drop. Go and check out @PerryUnlikely on Twitter. Interact with me there. And I will see you next time.